Spielt 5, 6 Minuten.
Hello guys, happy Saturday. First of all, welcome to our viewers. You know what to do. Don't forget to click the follow button to stay up tuned for our Crackhouse platform and events, of course. Now, let's start. How are we? First of all, before how are we, we're going to start with who are we? I'm sorry for that. We have our Mario here and our marketing team, Wade. Thank you. And that's me, Era, on the content marketing team at UFOstart. And now our lovely guest, Tim Brookman, CEO and founder of Stake for Future. Wait for us, please. And we have Tim Keating, CEO, thank you, CEO and founder of Crypto Studio. Hi. And we have Thomas Hessler, blockchain expert. Hi. Wait for us, yes. And we have Jonathan Funke, CEO and founder of TipMe. Hi. And now, Mario, I pass the mic to you.
Yes, thanks, Era. Really good to have you all, and hello, community. Guys, we're really happy to have you all here, our wonderful guests, with a different view on the topic of staking in the light of the Cardano event today. Before we, jump into the agenda, right? We want to do one thing, right? Every one of you 4 guests, please say and I know you're experienced in this. So tell us in one short sentence, what is it that you/your company is about, and then we will hear a fun fact about each one of you, and that can be related or unrelated. So first, one sentence, what are you about? Second, fun fact. And we start with Thomas.
All right, hi guys. My name is Thomas Hessler. My background is online advertising. I started a company a couple years ago and sold it successfully, which gave me the opportunity to become a crypto expert because that's my passion. And let's say fun fact, of course, I'm not an anarchist, but I really like the idea of starting companies without an entity called a DAO. So I'm really passionate about this idea to, let's say, have a new setup of projects which run basically by themselves like Bitcoin.
Great. Thank you very much, Thomas. Yes, Tim, please.
Yes, I'm Tim from Stake for Future, the pool Azul. We are a stake pool in the Cardano community, in the Cardano ecosystem. And we really are into this, we are very new in this community, in this crypto space, but we really enjoy it. And we love what Thomas said, this new approach of making business, making something good, developing something new. It's great. And yes, fun is I'm climbing every day when I'm not in crypto.
Great. Yeah, I'm also Tim. I'm the founder of Crypto Studio. Crypto Studio is empowering everyone to make informed decisions in crypto markets. Fun fact about me, not so easy one. I'm addicted to sweets and candy. I have never been employed in my life, and the only place where I could imagine to work for somebody is like at Haribo or something like this to create my own sweets. That's a fun fact.
Great. Thanks, guys. That was a fantastic intro. And yes, one thing before we go on to hearing a little bit about what Thomas, to pick Thomas's brain, what the general future of blockchain holds. One quick comment to the community. If any questions arise, and I'm sure there will, that you would like maybe the experts to comment on, please write it into the comment section, and we may get back to it after, after we went through with our agenda. All right. That being said, yes, we have Jonathan, please, as last. Sorry. It's a little bit difficult in our hybrid events. So Jonathan, please.
Perfect. Thanks so much for having me. I'm Jonathan Funke. I'm the founder and CEO of TipMe. So what we do is the next time you buy shoes, t-shirts, whatever fashion item online, we can tell you who actually made that specific shoe, and you can give a tip just as in a restaurant, and 100% of your tip actually goes to the people who made your shoes. And a fun fact about me, I started my first company when I was 5 years old.
Okay, you have to say one more sentence. You get one extra sentence to go, just one.
So there's a radio station here in Berlin, and the slogan is "Nur für Erwachsene," only for grown-ups. And I was 5 years old, and I thought that was very, very unfair. And I got onto the nerves of my father so long until he started a children's radio only for children with me, and it still exists. It has
Great.
That's
Fantastic.
interesting. Yeah.
We will from now on we will introduce you as the founder of the children's radio. I think that's all right. Great. That intro being done, we hop right to the first part, which is the general view on the ecosystem. And yes, Thomas has seen a lot, right, from different angles, inside out, from the very beginning, and yeah, that's why it's very interesting. We'd like to hear what's your take on where do we stand in the development of the whole ecosystem, and where are we going, right? What's ahead, Thomas?
Yeah, I mean, actually, we had a little discussion before we started the cast here to understand, okay, what's the general purpose for the audience? And since we don't really know who is watching, I want to try it, let's say, in like general, This is not a talk for experts. It's basically an open talk to anybody who is interested in crypto. And that's why I want to, let's say, make it not too complicated. The idea and what is fascinating in my eyes, that as you can see, more and more really interesting people joining the party, joining the crypto world, and are totally convinced because of their mindset, being business driven, being open to the world, and really many of them have, I would say, higher goals. It's not just the money, and that's what I think is the main message I wanna send out, that crypto is not just about money. It's not just about implementing a new currency which we can use in the real world to pay for this and that, because this is not really advantage, and nobody really can see where we can make improvements instead of using Apple Pay or credit card, So the idea, and that's what really fascinates me from the first day on, is behind crypto, it's an idea. I would even call it a global revolution. It is the idea of making the world a better place in general, of course, but you can see more and more that people joining this idea with a strong a vision, and so I'm happy that we can discuss today some really easy use cases which are not totally let's say related to using a digital currency. These are use cases which are basically open to anyone in the world who has to think about his money, who has think about his future, how he can basically develop his own personal financial freedom, or even if he can compensate things which are not working in the world today anymore, because you don't get interest on your savings. There are really less opportunities where to invest your money. And now, for the first time, I would say, the crypto industry, or the crypto idea, which I don't want to explain in detail what is the main purpose, but now comes up with some use cases which everybody can understand. And so Cardano is just one of many hundreds and thousands of cryptocurrencies in the world there. But Cardano is one example, which I would say is very a modern currency, which the topic of this crowdcast today is indicating, because you can stake it, And this is one use case, how to use a cryptocurrency as let's say as a regular investor without understanding what's behind, and maybe you don't want to dive into too much in the technical details. But in a second, we will explain to you 2 easy use cases, how you can use Cardano, even if you have just very small savings, whatever, but you can join this new, let's say, I would even say it, industrial revolution, and make some profit out of it, you know? So that's what makes it, in my eyes, much more real for anybody to understand what can I do with it beside paying for goods, you know? And so that's why I want to hand over to my 2 sofa guests here, Tim and Tim. It's easier to remember. And or maybe Mario will hand over and introduce them what they tell.
Sure, but just one little follow-up. So it sounds like, right, so we're all looking towards, okay, when are we going to, or where are we on the path to mass adoption? As it sounds like solutions like Cardano and the likes are one major node, or you see this as one kind of entryway to make that happen? Did I get this right?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, these are 2 tiny use cases in a way, which are focused on one coin, Cardano. The big picture, of course, is even bigger, but I think it's we don't have enough time to do that. Maybe give me just one more sentence to that. I think
Granted.
The idea is not how could we bring crypto to the world to make use of it. I think in the future, we will think much more about how can we bring the real world into the crypto world, because that's what we see in the future, where we all want to be. Maybe not everyone, but we will see we are moving in that virtual digital world where everything becomes digitized and kind of a new digital asset. And so Cardano is just one way of entering that path or that strategy, I would say. And I'm also a proud investor in Cardano for a while. So everything what we tell you today, I'm basically experiencing and I'm using. So yeah, it's just real. Yeah, it's not theory. It's real. And be our guest and learn what you can do and how to enter the crypto world.
Great, thanks a lot, Thomas, for that wider introduction. And that being said, I throw the ball back to you, Era, for or a little bit more into detail, zoom in on, what is this about?
Yes, of course, we're going to talk about it a lot. We're going to mention it a lot. But first of all, let's start with actually explaining on then what the hell is actually staking and what the hell is actually landing, right? So we start, first of all, with Tim Brickman, please, with the staking.
Yes, thanks, Ezra. Yeah, I like to come to Thomas, we are T and T. So it's we are not all in crypto. We have the same first letters, that's a funny fact we have here. But, to come back to the adoption, which is such a big thing for everybody who is in crypto. We all waiting, I think, that the adoption is taking place. So we are here today in Berlin. Usually I'm based in Düsseldorf, but we are here in Berlin because it's the Cardano Summit, the first time, and it's 700 people who are meeting in Berlin, coming from all Germany. There are some more summits in other cities in Germany, but for me it was amazing that 700 people travel here. It was booked out, no tickets. They made it very nice in a big hotel in Berlin. We will go there later. So this is adoption. We already have a lot of people, and I think the Cardano system is very easy to use. I think that's the biggest fact that you experience with some other coins and blockchains. But the Cardano world is really easy because the coins never leave your wallet. You can easily spend it during a staking period. So it's very easy to handle. It's some clicks and you stake. Yeah? And you're not locked, you're not blocked, you're not nothing. You are free. And for me, the crypto world is also something to be free. I think I listened to a last crowdcast also from Thomas, where Thomas said, yes, our problem, and it's, I hope so, and I fight for it, that in the future our main time we don't use anymore for working. We have to use it for what can we do with our very valuable time. Always being in the job 9 to 5, I think that will change, and crypto can really help us to change it. And we will talk about some disruptive ideas we have with staking pools later. But for me, it's the Cardano staking is take your coins into the chain, give the nodes possibility to minting blocks, so transaction will be validated by us, by a node, by a stake pool, and you help also to decentralize these nice Cardano blockchain. If you take your coins off the exchanges, put it in some nice stake pools. There are lots. There are really some nice mission-driven. There are people who help. There's one pool who has already 12 children, who always finds financing 12 children's in another country. There are people who have sustainable things will be financed with their rewards. So there's a lot of positivity in the Cardano community, in the stake pool. So check it out. They're really mission driven. We donate to our friend, or we will establish a system with Jonathan from TipMe, which we will come back later. So now I'd like to hand over the word to my name brother, Tim.
Yes, please.
So I guess the question is not what is staking for me, but to tell a bit more about lending. To give an answer, yes, this was a rhetorical question. So yeah, to give maybe an unexpected answer, I would say lending for me, from my perspective, is kind of a killer application for onboarding into crypto lending. I would say, especially people who are no coiners or not so deep into crypto yet, because lending provides a tool to the way Thomas has described, like the way to financial sovereignty and of course financial opportunity. And lending is a quite easy way, especially for people who are not into this world yet. So it's quite easy to understand because there's lots of similarities to the normal financial world. Yeah, of course it works a bit different, especially these protocols or platforms. They work with collateral. So the key word here basically is over collateralization. Yeah, so there's not this typical risk you would normally have because the platform or the protocol, so depends if it's DeFi or CeFi, has more collateral than the guys are getting out of it. So this is a totally different system. So this is also quite protective. So I don't want to say that there's no risk involved, right? Because there, of course,
right.
There are other risks like technical risk in different ways. Yeah? So don't get it wrong. I don't want to say crypto lending has no risk. Yeah? But if you see it from the perspective that you give more collateral than you get if you want to get money back, so that's definitely a big plus. But back to my unusual point, back to this killer application. I think the possibility of lending, I mean, there's not so, I mean, it's now existing basically since 2 years, in combination with stable coins, is for me definitely a killer application, because even people who are not into this crypto space yet, they can use something like a stable coin, so they don't have the volatility from cryptocurrencies, but they are able to get the yield, which is possible to get. So this could be like an entrance way to crypto, to go into the rabbit hole and discover the opportunities which lay in. So this is for me There's a reason why I would always say lending in combination with stablecoins is killer application for onboarding new users in the millions of people. Yeah.
May I have a question? I mean, so actually, I find it pretty interesting, especially I don't know about lending. That's why my question. So we learned that you can have basically purpose pools of staking. Yeah. So that, as you said, there is a group of children and they benefit from a staking pool because people who staked basically delegate their money to the pool, agree on that some of the interest or however you call it, rewards, will be used to donate it to the children that they can proper education or something like that. So maybe you have some more examples what motivates people to start a pool because they have something in mind what they want to promote. Yeah. And the question for you is, do we have the same in lending? Because I mean, I remember microfinance projects where you basically lend money, of course, to make a profit, but on the other side, to give the money some purpose that maybe there's a business can start in South America or whatever. Do we have the same in crypto lending?
Yeah. So in a different way, I would say yes. I mean, but it's more about self-sovereignty, yeah, and bankability, yeah, because we in the first world often forgot that's not normal, right? So it's more about the personal individual, because everybody can have access to this lending markets, right? It's an inclusive market, it's there for everybody, and so everybody can get rid of the guys where they can lend money, but maybe for 20% whatsoever.
Okay.
So on one hand, I would say no, yeah, but on the other side, I would say yes, of course, but in a different nuance.
Yeah.
I think there is a difference in the stake pool or staking and lending, especially in the Cardano ecosystem. We have a lot of pools who really have their mission driven, and this is also supported from the Cardano Foundation and the IOHK, so two of the players of the Cardano blockchain, and they help also to develop mission-driven pools. And what we do, our mission is just a question I just read here. Our mission was in the beginning, I told we are climbers. I have my two partners. One is also a strong alpinist. And in the beginning, we read about there's a pool who donates to the Austrian Alpenverein. And we said, wow, that's cool to run a business. And the code is law. The code will send some percentage of my rewards to the DAV, the German Alpenverein. That was my dream. I can earn money, and without a magic hand, the DAV can profit for it. And this was our first purpose. I will come back to it later in some minutes. Now, to answer the question from Tim Heidfeld, another Tim. Hi, Tim. And our mission is actually that's Jonathan here from TipMe. We like to establish with TipMe an automated reward system that a worker in Pakistan gets rewards on his mobile wallet. So the money from the delegators falls in the pool, and 1.5% of our own margin from me and my two partners will go through Magic Hand to blockchain to the mobile phone of a worker. I think that is fantastic. And to establish that, I think Jonathan has to explain a little bit about TipMe in a second. But what we feel so strong about is to use these pools now to understand that a pool is not just a tool to earn passive income. A pool is something you can disrupt a complete businesses. And now we are in contact, so it's for sure about climbing again. We are together with Francesca Ritter. She's a youth world champion in speed climbing, and she makes her move from being an amateur to the real professional and to be in Olympic Games. She just came back from Moscow, I think 2 days ago, and she has the 11th place in the adult competition. It was her first competition with the adults, and she got 11th place. Wow, big up. Yeah, very good. And we now like to guide her from amateur to professional. And that is a big work because the other climbers, the competitors are working every day, training. And in Germany, you know, climbing is not this big as in other countries. So we found through the pool a way how we can support Francesca. The pool will open soon, and this is a big experiment. We and we call it disruption in sport sponsoring. So we like to have sport sponsoring pools, and we start with Francesca. We're very sure that it will be a good thing, and we will try to find other people who also need support in getting from amateur to a professional sports guy or sports girl. Yes, that's the disrupting way of having a stake pool. Perhaps now I need Jonathan to explain a little bit about TipMe so that the people really know what's the mission of our pool. Azul is the name. What's the mission is Azul and TipMe.
Wait a minute, just in between before we come over, right? And we want to hear all about TipMe. We do have some time, but in order to get to wrap up the staking and lending topic maybe for our beginners, what would be really appreciated is from each one of you to hear maybe what are the do you have some tips when starting out? What is kind of something to look out for? What are pitfalls? What to do, not to do for our audience? Some advice to keep in the pocket and take home.
Yeah, maybe I start with a general view. So I hope you could understand a little bit that there are two new methods which you can use in the crypto market for making money by yourself. But the good thing is that you can do that with a purpose. It's like investing in ideas by joining a staking pool, which, let's say, reflects your interests, or even create a new pool because you have your own mission and want to support that. And on the side, basically, you make some extra money on in rewards. So what is the average in rewards you're making with a Cardano staking pool?
It's for every pool the same. The delegator, so the guy who invests in our pool, so don't get investment wrong, the coins will stay in your wallet.
Sure.
You just give it to us or give us, the opportunity to make the transactions or to evaluate the transaction. It's 5% in 1 year for every delegator. No matter if you go to a big pool or a small pool, it's always 5% on the delegators.
Okay.
So what is important is if you like to delegate to a pool, is you should find a pool who at least regularly produce blocks. That's important. So if there's no block in Epoch it's 5 days in Cardano world, then they don't get rewards. But usually outcome, if you look at pools up to 700,000 ADA, they quite regularly mint or produce blocks. So this is something you have to look if you like to stake. And I always say, take a mission-driven pool. Do something good, because 5% is better than on every Sparkasse in Germany. Yeah, so you don't get nothing anymore. It's a different way. Huh? You get deducted money from our nice banks.
Of course, so that's the problem everybody is facing now. And so, but let's compare that to lending. I mean, what's the average rate of lending you can get with if you lend your Cardanos or your crypto to someone?
Yeah, this. Stupid answer, depends, but it is an answer. And I mean, if you look at stable coins, so you look at two-digit numbers. So I mean, it's also a volatile. It depends also on the Bitcoin at the end, right? So there's also correlation, interesting correlation between stable coins and Bitcoins, of course. But you can get up to 12%, and I think there was even the time it was 13% for stable coins. But of course, if you look at Bitcoin, and I mean, Bitcoin is the king, right? Or Ethereum, we're talking like 3 to 4, 5%. But also, this is quite depending on lots of things. So first of all, you have to differentiate if you want to invest, if you want to lend your money basically to a company or to protocol. So now we are talking DeFi or CeFi. So that's also a thing, and depends also, of course, on your philosophy, but also on your skill set, I would say. So I would say, because Mario, you were asking for tips, right? I guess at the beginner level, it's easier to work together with a company, basically. So you have to verify yourself and so on. Of course, I know that a lot of people are basically on the other side and say, oh, no, everything has to be at the end on a layer of protocol. But also you have to have a lot of disadvantages for unexperienced people, right?
Yeah.
So maybe better to start with a CeFi player, and don't go for the one who has the highest yields, because there's of course lots of scams involved and so on. So I went down the rabbit hole, the lending rabbit hole in 2019 to create own cash flows out of my cryptocurrencies, and was basically analyzing the situation for myself, and was asking myself, okay, which one should I use, which platform, which protocol, which advantages, what is the the yield is one thing, but there's also lots of other things you should check out. And at the end I built my own tools, because this yield is also changing daily, weekly, depends on the platform and so on. So you have lots of things you have to watch out for, and at the end I understood that I created with the research I have done and with the tools I have built for myself, at the end also a product which could be interesting for other people.
So what's
the idea for?
What's the name of the internet address you would recommend if somebody is interested in learning? Where
Definitely
to go?
cryptostudio.com.
Okay.
We have built a comparison and a knowledge hub, I would say, where we provide decision-making tools on one side, and education world, and where we really start to take the no-coiner and the one who's not that experienced, who already is in crypto but just has bought some bitcoins and it's on the exchange, but who has not used DeFi and so on. So we really tried to start there, because most of the crypto projects I see, they're from nerds for nerds, and I wanted to create a project where we can really focus on mass adoption and helping people who are not into it that much to go into it and to explore all the possibilities. And so we tried to do it in a way which is also understandable. And this is also the reason why we started with lending. We also go deeper in other parts, also in staking and so on. And some of the platforms who have the resources from the lender and borrowers, they also stake. So lending and staking, this is nothing.
It goes hand in hand.
Totally.
So that's why. What's your recommendation for staking?
One thing where Tim and me are, also on one thing. You listen to Tim. Take your coins from the exchange. Start something with it. Crypto Studio has a lot of possibilities. If you go to the stake pool, there's also a lot of possibilities. And I think people who have the coins make the first step, buying coins. I think it's so important to take them from the exchanges and to let them work for you. This is something what I learned from you in the last crowdcast. We were really going a little bit deeper. That was another topic. And it's so important to let it work for you and have time for other things.
Yes.
For me, it's
jump in here, guys, just real quick, because we want to involve Jonathan also. So, but just one last view on Crypto Studio. For me personally, I was before on many different platforms before already, and then I found out about Crypto Studio, and it gave me like a good overview. Okay, where is the solutions that I'm using? How do they stack up? Right, it's still also not only for no coiners, but for beginners, but also to get a better overview for people who are maybe involved for a while already. Okay, that being said, maybe Era, let's
Yes,
get
now it's time
Jonathan.
for
Let's get Jonathan in. You've been patient
Yes.
so long.
Right. Let's pass the mic to you, Jonathan. And what are the exciting new staking projects and in general? Like, yes, here we go. We'll listen to you.
Perfect. So we heard a lot about decentralized finance. We heard about staking. But I think maybe it's very interesting for you to see very concretely what staking can actually have a real impact on the real world. And that's why I want to present TipMe. TipMe is the global tipping system. So the purpose of our organization is reducing global inequality, because every second person on this planet actually lives off less than €5 every day. And with TipMe, we found a really solution of how to change that. We all know fair trade, and there's a lot of other certifications in the industry that certify supply chains, saying that they're fair and giving a better income to the people who actually make our products. And what we would do with TipMe is we take out these middlemen and we connect you directly to the person who made your product. So when you buy a t-shirt online, we can tell you exactly who made it. And just as you tip the barista when you have a cup of coffee, with TipMe, you can tip the person who made your jeans, who made your jacket, who made the t-shirt that you're wearing in this very moment. And the way it works...
Fantastic, yeah.
So much.
Die Idee, ne? Die der gemacht hat, finde ich.
And the way it works is super simple. We work with different online shops, and we have a plug-and-play solution. It can be live in 30 minutes there, and then the consumer can add a tip, and we actually ensure that 100% of the tip that you give goes to the individual people who make the product. Right now, we're not using crypto yet. We're still using fiat. But we're looking into different solutions on actually enabling crypto for the garment workers. And if you want, you as a consumer, you can also get updates from us, how your tip has been used, what impact it has. And we already have...
Well, that's also really transparent.
Yes,
I understand, right?
Exactly. For us, transparent.
That's really nice.
Go for it.
Yeah, my question would be actually like, what triggered you? Like, and then I said that was really transparent. It's actually awesome. But also, like, what triggered you to start this project? I would want to ask actually also for our viewers who might be interested, you know, like a lot.
Sure. So I started the project because I was demonstrating against Primark. It's a fast fashion company where a t-shirt costs less than a cup of coffee. And I thought, well, we live in such a hyper-connected world, right? There's more people on this planet who have phones than that have toothbrushes. So how can we use this interconnected, globalized world to reduce global inequality? How can we connect the unconnected and make sure that everybody has the resources to build a good life for themselves?
Really inspiring, definitely.
Yeah, I would have one more question. Like, this is a wonderful idea, right? And I can see, obviously, you have targeted this one market now, but there's like instantly going like a million other opportunities up in my mind. And what do you think for which other industries, you know, this could be similarly beneficial?
Right. So we're focusing right now on the fashion industry. Because there's a lot of e-commerce in the fashion industry, and we've actually created a dedicated software solution where each garment worker has their own profile, and we can send the money directly into their individual bank accounts, maybe wallets in the future. Let's see. And I think the next logical step would be the food industry. We're already in contact. We have some LOIs from big supermarket chains, actually. That you probably know, that want to implement the solution for coffee, for cacao, for all the goods that travel around this globe, that have seen more from this world than most of us have seen, and to make sure that the people making those products actually have a good life.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Coming from a little bit of a food background myself, I see absolutely how this could, this could be very, very beneficial for all the, for many of the parties involved in the process, where the margins are tiny and the tip makes a real difference. With the raising awareness and consciousness of consumers, I think this is, there can be a bright future for TipMe also in this industry. Absolutely.
Yeah, great. And I'm really happy to announce that we're working with Stake for Future. So basically everybody that stakes, that uses their money, not only to, as you said, to get some profit, but also to create some purpose. If you stake for Future, a part of the profits will be used and donated to TipMe, and we can then funnel your profits directly to the garment workers like Mohammed Bouta in Pakistan, or somewhere around the world.
Great, thanks a lot, Jonathan. I think we had a nice discussion around all these topics and touched on many different things. Thanks for an insight into all of your brains. I think as we are slowly moving towards an end, since we are later also moving on to the Cardano Summit and the keynote of Charles Hoskinson. But one thing, that I think, who are we here? We're Cardano enthusiasts also, and an interested one. So I want to come back to that for a minute before we go, and that's would be the question, like how what are there hot new updates to the Cardano ecosystem, since a lot has been happening in the past couple of weeks. Maybe Tim Brückmann can give us a little bit of insights, what's happening, what are maybe be running into with this international conference today. What's up?
Yeah, before the summit, I think 2 or 3 days now. So we teamed up. I think 2 weeks ago, we teamed up with a project called Ardana, which have it's a little bit complicated. It's a stable coin, but it's constructed quite specially, and they teamed up with a DEX called Kotti. And this is something where we see now that stable coins comes to the Cardano system with really big, good players who are very professional in their perspective of doing this. And this is, I think, one of the biggest news in front of the summit. And as I'm not in IOHK or in the foundation of Cardano, I don't know what there will be. I think, like Charles Hoskin always say, there will be birds landing for sure. And I feel my heartbeat already. I'm really tension what we will hear from Charles Hoskinson. And yes, I don't know what will happen. I hope there will be a big mass adoption. I hope there will be a big thing with decentralized identity, because it's a big project of me and some other partners. We really like to bring this decentralized identity to the next level. And yeah, perhaps there will be like a new program from the foundation, from Emurgo, from IOHK, I don't know. I hope there will be special things for the identity. Perhaps Atala will show us something, the Atala prison team. So we don't know what will happen. I'm looking forward.
Probably also lending platform.
Yes, I think lending is, the DeFi. The DeFi is really a big thing in Cardano. And so I'm looking now, what will be the next thing? DeFi is started and will be professionalized, like Crypto Studio will be one of the very important player to bring adoption, to make it easy to work with your coins, your cryptos. And I think, yes, what will be after, when we look at regulation, and I think the decentralized identity will something, it's like an entry portal to use everything much easier and much more private. I like to own my identity. I don't like to give everything, like every Google in the world, every Apple in the world, they get all my data. Why? Perhaps sometimes the other guy likes to just knows if I'm older than 18. Yes, I am. That's enough. They don't like to know everything. I like to own my identity. I don't like to give it away. And that's something I think will be in the future of blockchain a very special and important step.
And to add something, even I'm not a Cardano expert, so I also have no clue at all what will be announced today. But what is missing in my eyes, since we have learned today about what can you do with your money to basically get interest if you invested in a pool or stake it with a pool or you lend it to someone or to a project. These are ways of funding ideas. And one major way which we are missing actually today because of regulations is a startup funding way. I mean, we had a massive movement a couple of years back when ICOs became I would say the main startup funding way, but due to regulations, this funding alternative basically dried out, and we are all looking for a new way to invest in startup ideas. And so I'm also a big fan of decentralization because that's the way that you don't have to play the regulators' rules. But if you feel really passionate about a project and you want to support it, we need something, And for me, right now, it looks like we need a decentralized structure without an entity, a legal entity, so you can invest basically in an idea. And that was the way how Bitcoin came to life, just with an idea, and everybody was supporting the idea. And that's what we need now for startups again. And maybe Cardano even can, offer something that we can support that idea of investments in startups. Let's see.
Perfect. That sounds so great. And from our audience, are there any questions? We covered all topics today, but of course we cannot stop talking about everything. Cardano and new updates, we cannot just get enough, right? But if you have any questions, of course we have time. You can ask, and since we're all here before the summit, we can actually answer them anything. But that was been really great. Like that was really good. Thank you, Tim. That was a really good talk actually.
All right, audience, what's up? This is your chance. Maybe we can find. Maybe there were questions asked before already. We're gonna scan the chat real quick. But if something else comes to mind, now is the chance, since we're still all here before we move over to the Cardano Summit. In the meantime, while you're thinking, just two quick words on agenda. So basically, all our team, and we're doing this, is from UFOstart, and we as UFOstart, we're supporting early stage kind of blockchain projects with advisory and maybe some investments. So yes, we are into blockchain marketing and helping great projects, great founders to take off.
Right.
And that being said, if you want to hear more of what we do here, don't forget to subscribe, to follow, and Crowdcast One channel.
Check out
also
our link.
Yes, you get to get all the links here. And yes, that's it, I guess. Era, did I miss anything? Okay, we have a question.
No, but we have a question actually from Tim. Where can I compare pools, he asked.
Yes, I think this question is for me. You can compare pools in a lot of different, you can have in your wallet, you can have the Euro, you can have the Daedalus, you can have a lot. They are not easy functioning, these statistics, but this is definitely a topic. I will ask Tim later on what how can we perhaps compare pools. It's also like a crypto studio. There are so much possibilities, and for sure it's not a coincidence that we are sitting here like these people with different topics on crypto. For me it's sure one of the biggest thing is how to compare really in Cardano system. You don't need to compare. You get 5% in the year, that's it. If you make it a little bit complicated for yourself, you can make some pool hopping. So our pool had in two epochs, we had, I think, 38% of return. That's super nice. You can jump out of the pool and get to a next one. But this pool hopping will lead to 5% usually. It's a lot of work. You lose some staking periods. So this pool hopping is it's a little bit work, and you can try it. But what I tell people is take your mission-driven pool, because the mission should fit to what you like to support. So, and then stay there and take the 5% and have an easy life and do something with the time you have left. Take a book, read, go to climb. Yeah. So I would recommend find the pool which is making regularly blocks, which is minting the blocks regularly. So all 3 epochs or every epoch, you will get the 5%, no matter in which ranking the pool is. You get 5%. That's the code of the blockchain. Yeah, it's not changeable. Right. You get 5%. That's it.
Definitely. Yes. Perfect. That's really good. Another question was like actually about if there's a timetable for like in the general UFOstart, I think the question, but for that, as we said, please follow. And also there's a link for our website as well. All the updates are beginning there. So we only have 30 minutes to Cardano Summit. You guys.
Yes, here's one more. I'm not sure if the last question. Maybe we still have time.
Right.
What was from Tim Hedfeld. So I just read it. It's like, do you get only APR or also token that is connected to the mission?
Yeah, you get in the Cardano system very often you get a token with your rewards. So you get your rewards and people give you thank you tokens. You know, there are some tokens which is a nice thing. You get like small NFTs. You can have them in the wallet. But in the future, you will also get airdrops to next to your rewards, which are useful. So we, like I told in the beginning, we teamed up with Ardana, and we will supply also token to our delegators, and this will be an add-on. You know, there are, I think, 60 pools in the whole Cardano network are working together with Ardana, and there you will get tokens which are useful and get a higher value in the future, perhaps. Yes.
Guess that's about it for our cast. I think the summit, since the question was asked a couple of times, the summit is, I think, started at 4:30, and there's like a little bit of a warm-up period, and the speech of Charles Hoskinson is, I think, starting at 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that gives actually enough coffee break for our viewers and for all of us before the summit actually begins.
Okay, then anyone up for some famous last words? Otherwise, we call it a day. And
yes, I like to say thank you to Thomas for the nice invitation of UFOstart. Great team. So if you are in crypto or you have idea, I think these guys will help you. Don't go to them. They can shape your ideas. They're very experienced. So yeah, I'm happy to be here with UFOstart. Thanks a lot. I like to come back.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
It was a pleasure to have you, all of you guys.
Thanks so much for having me.
Of course.
Goodbye, everyone.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.